Welcome to my office in the park where everything is green. This is my improvised office. I hope you like it. Today we are going to talk about why consulting, why working as a consultant in the UK and everywhere else in the world for that matter. I got a few notes for you I'm going to share. So I'm going to go through some points here and make a case for why it's a good idea to become a consultant today. First point is inflation. Inflation is a reality we will not be able to escape for some time, in my opinion. I think in UK right now, the official inflation rate is about 9.1%. I argue that the real inflation rate that we can feel it in our pockets, it's closer to 20%, maybe even higher. Just energy costs in the UK this year alone have risen by 1,000%, which means energy costs this year 10 times more than it cost last year, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. And obviously, the food costs and cost of living are all going up. So inflation is here to stay for sure, which means that's just the energy costs. We'll probably see another hike in food prices pretty much very soon as well. So look, inflation means that the money you make this year can stretch you less than the money that you made last year. So basically, even if you make the same amount of money this year as you made last year, you will be able to afford less things or less experiences, or your cost of living is going to be hugely impacted. You won't have as much as disposable income, or you won't be able to make as many savings as you did previous years on the same amount of money, because everything costs much more. So second point I want to make is we are in a recession in the UK, and if things continue, we would be pretty much looking at a depression. Hopefully that's not going to happen, but nonetheless, in a depression, just so you know, it's a prolonged recession. I don't believe UK has yet announced recession officially in the UK yet, but I mean the signs are like everywhere already. So what happens in a recession is people get laid off, people lose their jobs because the economy shrinks, and then companies are not making as much money as they did other years. People don't have as much money to spend because their disposable income shrinks as well. So everything contracts. Now, in such a scenario, then companies are laying people off. So majority of people are in permanent roles here in the UK, and you can argue, although they think their job is secure, in a shrinking economy, in a shrinking business activity, you could imagine, I mean, you already can read in the news there are some companies who are laying people off. So the reason why this would be a good time to consider consulting is, look, when companies are going to be shrinking, it will cost less for them to get a contractor on board, just because they will not have as many expenses as they normally do, and obligations legally as they normally do with an employment with a person that is a permanent employee. So in a situation where there is a lot of uncertainty economically, businesses may be more inclined to get contractors on board instead of permanent employees. So they may be laying off permanent employees, and while they're shrinking, they may only get temporary workforce in place, so contractors or consultants on a day rate or hourly rate to help them with their projects. Number three, There is news about a number of companies offering salary increases to their permanent employees to cover the costs, the hike in cost of living. So a number of companies have come out to say, look, we are, offering salary increases for our permanent employees to make sure, at least some of the costs due to increased inflations can be covered. So they're looking to. So these companies, I applaud these companies. They are, looking after their permanent employees. They want to make sure their permanent employees, they can afford, to keep their permanent roles and not be crushed by this huge hike in inflation. That's honorable. I just want to say that this practice, as great as it is, it cannot continue for too long. It's not sustainable because that money has to come from somewhere. And then if these businesses will be shrinking due to recession, then as much as they want to keep increasing salaries for permanent employees every year or so, it's not sustainable. So this trend of them helping out, this trend. So what I want to caution you is, if you're a permanent employee and your company is, giving you an increase in your salary for you to be able to, cover some of the inflation rate increase, some of the increase in inflation rate and the cost of living, then, this is, likely not going to be something that can be repeated on and on and on for a long time. It's helpful right now, but long term, it cannot be sustainable. So my next point is about job security. So, it can be misleading to think that a permanent employee in the UK has full job security. I literally haven't come across a person who has been doing, the same role for the entire career. It's misleading to call a role a permanent role. But nonetheless, job security is only in, it's mental. It's really in your own mind. You very rarely do have security of anything in life, less so in relation to a job. So things can happen from one day to the next. The company can, have a new management, and existing roles can be at risk because management wants to bring their own trusted management team, or your new management, or people move on, and then company culture changes, and then you may not find it bearable to continue to work in a toxic company culture. There are so many scenarios that bring to mind why job security, associating job security with the permanent employment is a great thing to do. It's really, you have more job security when you rely on your own skills, when you become resilient. That's when you can really get job security, but not in the sense of staying in the same role or the same career, but actually progressing and then becoming more by doing more. As a consultant, there is a trade-off in job security, but what the trade-off looks like is you lose some of the job security, but you build resilience, and also you build commercial and sales skills and expertise, which is absolutely very, very important for you as a person, for you as a business. You learn to market yourself, you learn to sell yourself as a person, you learn to sell your services, and it's a skill you develop in time, and then it stays with you and you improve for the rest of your life. Concerns about job securities are going to be replaced by your endeavors to build resilience, resourcefulness, creativity, sales, marketing are going to be skills and expertise you are going to build while you pursuing a consultant or contractor career. These are excellent skills to have. You can deploy in any circumstance life throws your way. You can build cash reserves faster when you work as a consultant, just because you're making much more money as a consultant. If you want to build cash reserves faster in a shortest amount of time possible, then pursuing a consultant contractor career, it is the best way to go. You can accumulate cash reserves. You can use the increase in revenue to buy or build assets, invest in assets, which is going to increase your net worth faster. That's very important. You really cannot retire wealthy from a day job. You can't. You need to have a business to actually build wealth. In my experience, working as a consultant and a contractor, I see it as a stepping stone to becoming a business owner, like a true business owner, where you have a business, you have a company, and you have a team, employees, contractors, freelancers, whatever, working for your business. So if that's the direction you're going, I suggest doing the switch, making the transition, making the move in becoming a contractor, consultant. Do this now, and then that will work out for you. It is also a great idea to think about making a move from a permanent role to a contractor role if you see yourself, a few years from now being a CEO or being a managing director of a perhaps small company. But nonetheless, if that's your career aspirations, that's where you would see yourself, the fastest way to get there is to actually, work as a consultant. You would learn so much in a very short period of time. You will be exposed to a lot of, business circumstances, a lot of business scenarios. You will solve a lot of problems. You will learn, hopefully, best practices that you can then later on implement in your own business or the businesses you'll be working in as a CEO or a managing director. Also, moving from permanent role to a contract role is good for you if you already have a number of side businesses you're building up in your spare time. So, side hustles or, different pursuits, hobbies, passions that you can translate into business, money-making businesses, positive cash flowing businesses later on. If you already have this business focus, you already are, looking to grow your revenue, I think moving from a permanent role to a contract role would help you, have more cash to invest in your other businesses and also grow your business skills much faster. I hope this helped you understand why consulting, why, setting up yourself as a consultant, moving from a career in permanent employment and setting yourself up as a consultant and start work as a consultant and contractor. It's a great idea now, given the economic reality, but also it's a great idea in general if you want to make more cash, if you want to build cash reserves faster, if you see yourself moving towards owning your own business or being in a CEO or managing director role in your career, is the fastest route to leadership in business. All right, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I liked making it. If you have any comments, any questions, please leave in the comments down below. Also, let me know, why are you considering starting up as a consultant or contractor? What are your hopes and what are your fears? What's stopping you? What is stopping you from setting up as a consultant? Are there any other aspects that I haven't touched in this video you would like me to explore further in other videos, or you would like me to respond to any of your questions? Please leave in the comments down below, and I'll be able to answer. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. This will help my channel grow faster organically. I would appreciate that very much, and I'll see you next in one of my next videos soon. Take care for now.